Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hanna Horror here today, guys. We've got a little bit of a mail day, but I'm also going to do more of the recommends like I did last time. I got some messages saying people enjoyed those, so let's keep that going with everything going on. All right, and today's mail is, oh wow, we've got Dario Argento's Phenomena. Now, this is a movie that was put over to me by my friend Lauren, among Andrew, and my wife actually has seen this and likes it. I love the color purple, so I love the fact that there's purple hands and purple name at the top. No, but seriously, though, this movie has been put over to me from some friends of mine, and it sounds like it's going to be a winner for me, so I'm excited to dive into this, and it looks like Donald Pleasance is in this, so that is a home run for me, guys. So that's the only thing for mail we have today. That is also a Synapse Blu-ray, which Synapse is one of my favorite companies. I've got a good stash of Synapse movies now. So, all right, guys, so let's talk about some horror recommends and recent watches. Now, this is the stack of movies I watched in the last 2 days, right? And I'm going to tell you why I think you should watch this movie spoiler-free and show you what I did. So the first one definitely is going to be Waxwork, guys. If you have not checked out Waxwork, I had a blast with this movie. Seeing it on this Vestron video series is the way to go, but seeing the movie in general is just the way to go. I forgot how fun and great of a cast this movie, had. I was blown away by the faces that I recognized. As a Twin Peaks fan, somebody was in here that I was really glad to see. As a Return of the Living Dead 2 fan, I was really glad to see that same person. Also, the guy from Gremlins, the kid from Gremlins was in this. Not Corey Feldman, but the main, the main kid who got the gizmo is in this. This movie was fun. Some of the special effects were really nasty, man, and really just fun. This is a really entertaining movie, and I couldn't recommend it enough, guys. That's Waxwork. I can't comment on Waxworks 2, though. The next movie I want you guys to check out is a movie called Slither. Oh my goodness, this movie was amazing. I loved it so much. I've seen it before when I first bought this, and I decided to rewatch it because it's been a long time. This movie is a fantastic watch, so disgusting. It's got Henry from Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer in this, who delivers a fantastic performance. The whole movie is great. It's directed by, I think, James Gunn, who I didn't realize was married to Pam Beesly from The Office at the time. They're no longer married, but she was in here, so that was nice seeing Office alumni in this. Slither is fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and a lot of rewatch value for me on this. I'd like to see more from James Gunn. It looks like he's the Guardians of the Galaxy guy, and he looks like he's done stuff on The Walking Dead, The Hunger Games, Pitch Perfect, Body Double, Jason Bourne. But Slither has got to be the coolest movie he's done, so definitely check out Slither. So I've been doing like this 90s thing lately and checking out some really cool 90s films, and this film was put over by my wife when I initially heard about it and saw that Scream Factory was doing this and passed on it. She's like, no, get it, you'll like it. 1999's House on Haunted Hill. This movie is so fun. In my opinion, it's the perfect blend between 90s, style and classic horror. This movie was really fun. I've seen the original House on Haunted Hill. I love it. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece. This one is just really fun. It doesn't do anything to screw around with the legacy of the original. It just kind of gives it this different feel and take, and I love it. This is from 1999, House on Haunted Hill. I loved this movie. A lot of rewatch value on it for me. This movie's kind of spooky. It really was kind of spooky. I really enjoyed it, guys. That's House on Haunted Hill. If you're a fan of the 59 cult classic, I dare say you could be a fan of this one as well. Or if you're just a fan of 90s horror movies in general, this movie's a home run for me. I loved it. I really urge you guys to give it a shot as well. Next one is basically Evil Dead 4, Drag Me to Hell. I do like this movie. This is basically an Evil Dead movie about a girl who works at a bank. And it's really that simple. This movie is just entertaining. It's not Sam Raimi's best. It's far from his worst, I would say. I really like Drag Me to Hell. This is a very fun, entertaining movie that has those crazy edits and feels of the Evil Dead style films, the first two specifically, or really the second specifically. And it just is fun. So I definitely recommend giving Drag Me to Hell a shot. I remember when this movie came out, I saw it in theaters, and I was like, what is this? This is just weird. But this was before I was a real big horror fanatic, so I didn't watch it through a Sam Raimi lens. Now that I'm a Sam Raimi fan, I'm a big Evil Dead fan, I watch it through that lens, and through a horror fan's lens, I think you can really enjoy this movie. But for the general audience, it's kind of a weird bag for them, because they're not used to the Sam Raimi style of editing and wackiness and over-the-top, horror style that he has. So for the horror fans, I definitely think Drag Me to Hell could be a fun watch. And last and certainly not least, the movie I really am excited to talk about because I have fallen in love with this movie And it's a John Carpenter film that is from the 90s, and it's certainly not the most talked about John Carpenter film, especially in my circles, but I'm here to, want to talk about this movie. John Carpenter's Village of the Damned. This movie was, in a nutshell, when I watched it this previous time, this is the Halloween 3 of the 90s. This movie, for me, is what Tommy Lee Wallace describes as a pod movie, not a knife movie. This is not a movie that is, like Children of the Corn, just stabbing people in the diner and stuff. No, this movie is very outer worldly and just very story driven and very God, I loved it. I really loved Village of the Damned. It has that great John Carpenter filmmaking style, basic cinematography, letting the actors act. There's scenes where the camera just goes through a hallway and a character comes out and is talking to somebody, and you just see the dialogue, you just see the motion, you just see the way John Carpenter does. And this movie was really fun. I think Kirstie Alley was in this movie. The girl from she's in Cheers. I really, really liked this movie. I'd seen it one time growing up, and I never had put it back on, even after I bought this. But when I rewatched it, I fell in love with it, guys. To me, this is the 90s Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. There's even some music cues that just gave me a chill up my spine that reminded me of Halloween 3. If you haven't seen this movie, give it a shot. I love it. Village of the Damned. Not John Carpenter's best 90s movie. I think if I had to give my pick for the best 90s movie, it would be In the Mouth of Madness, but this is really, really good, guys. I really like this movie, and if you're a Mark Hamill fan, you have to see this movie, because Mark Hamill is fantastic in this movie, guys. So those are my recommendations for you guys to check out, along with Phenomena, which I just got right there. So that's recommendations and recent watches, guys. I'm telling you, Village of the Damned, give that a shot if you haven't seen it in a long time. I really loved it. So thank you. This is Christian Hanna Horror. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about those movies, or if you haven't seen any of those, or if you just want to give them a shot again because it sounds fun, let me know in the comment section below. This is Christian Hanna Horror. See you guys next time.